All right, my dad hates Tony Ferguson. We've been watching this
My
bum
father.
for a very long time. Get those wings off your back. You ain't flying. You're nobody's angel. You ain't El Kukui. You're not scaring nobody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Locked Door MMA. We're your hosts. I'm Brevin. This is my boy JP. In this episode, we will be going over UFC Fight Night, Sandhagen versus Nurmagomedov. This one's on ABC, so it's going to be free for y'all. It's not a pay-per-view. If you want to tune into this, we're super excited for it. But before we dive into this weekend's card, if you like our channel, if you follow our content, make sure you hit that subscribe button. It really helps us out. We want to grow this community as much as we can. We haven't yet eclipsed 50 subscribers, so please go ahead, hit that subscribe button if you appreciate our content so we can continue to bring this to you every single week. And there's a UFC card. We put in a lot of effort for you guys, so it would be awesome if you could show us some love back. Also, make sure to like the video and leave a comment as we love interacting with you guys as well. Just don't call us idiots. Don't mock my quotes, and we're good. Just kidding. You can if you want. All right, JP, who do we got up first for this card?
Up first, it was the fight that was it Saudi Arabia? Our first card ever that we broke it down. I believe it was
Mm-hmm.
it was pulled from that card. It's Cedricus Dumas, Dennis Tululin.
Yeah, man, we already broke this one down for you guys, so I'm not going to spend too much time going over this fight. Dumas, taller guy, rangy striker. He can grapple a little bit too. He's pretty well rounded in all those areas. Tululin, he's kind of a decent wrestler at times. However, I mean, he's not going to shoot any takedowns of his own. He'll defend takedowns, and then land some big strikes on his feet. So I just don't like his skill set overall. I think Dumas has got the advantage there. He's got the longer reach. Give me Cedricus Dumas to get it done on Saturday.
Yep, piggyback. And not spent a lot of time. I mean, Tululin's 3 loss streak. He's 11-9. You're gonna pick a guy who's 11-9? No, Dumas by decision.
All right, next fight, Jai Herbert versus Rolando Bedoya.
Yeah, interesting one here. Bedoya's 0-2 in the UFC, so you might see that and you might be like, eh. But Bedoya's never been finished. That's a common thing you're gonna hear in this card. A lot of these guys on this card have never been finished. He took Chaos Williams along, so that looks pretty good. But granted, Chaos Williams, I mean, he's a guy that's gonna take your head off. So on the feet, another thing you're gonna see on this card, a lot of these fighters have a shit ton of canceled fights for some reason. Weird card like that. A lot of people have never been finished, but they don't fight a lot. Maybe like once, twice a year. A lot of canceled fights. Um, Jai Herbert, he's 2-4 in the UFC, so not much better of a record, but he has wins. All of his losses, except for his most recent one, are by finish. So that's something to keep in mind. Bedoya has never been finished, so do I think Jai Herbert's going to be the one to do it? Not likely. I don't know, man. Another thing I think you guys are going to notice as we get through this video is this is another video where me and Brevin are picking against each other, man. So let's start a war in the comments. Whose side are you guys taking? You taking my side? You taking Brevin's side? I'm going to start my first dog call off with Bedoya. Right now, he's a plus 140 underdog. I think the fight's going long. I don't think Herbert's the one to finish Bedoya. Give me Bedoya by decision, dog money, baby.
Yeah, I definitely didn't expect JP to go that direction on the second fight of the card, but here we go. We kind of knew that we weren't going to pick the same on this one. I kind of understand the fighters that JP likes, and he understands who I like. Well, I definitely like Jai Herbert in this matchup. He's a much taller fighter. He's a rangier fighter. He's got a 3-inch reach advantage, 2-inch height advantage. And Bedoya, he's not a wrestling threat, so he's just going to stand and strike. He wants to sit on the outside. He wants to leg kick and stay at range. Well, guess what? You're already at a disadvantage against going against a guy like Jai Herbert, who that is his style. Jai Herbert doesn't do well against grapplers. Jai Herbert doesn't do well against power strikers. Bedoya is neither of those. He's just going to try to point fight from the outside. You're feeding right into what Herbert does best. Give me Jai Herbert.
Yep, first one picked against. Keep the counter going because it is more to come. Next one, it is Victoria Dudakova for Sam Hughes.
Brother, I'll tell you right now, these odds are a little scary.
Mm.
Um, However, Dudakova, she's a good wrestler. Sam Hughes, she'll throw some good power striking. Dudakova's not much of a striker. However, she will look to take you down. In her last fight, she took down a girl and snapped her arm. The other girl's arm, it was pretty disgusting and gnarly. It was bent the wrong way. I was like, holy cow, did I just see that? However, I think this fight's going to come down to who's the better wrestler. I don't think Dudakova's going to want to stand there and bang with Sam Hughes. She's kind of a, she hits hard. She's a hard hitter, bigger girl there. So I think Dudakova's going to look to get this one on the ground, and she is the better wrestler. Give me Dudakova by decision.
Yeah, one thing I did forget to mention. I forget to mention this every time we start doing our breakdowns. The first two fights, I would not put any money down, and we're gonna add the third fight to that. The first three fights, don't just sit there, watch and enjoy. It's gonna be at 9 a.m., so most people probably ain't even gonna see it. Don't put money on any of these first three fights. Um, I'm gonna piggyback. Give me Dudakova as well. I think she's taking it by decision. Sam Hughes is tough, like Brevin says. She throws hard. She's a strong girl. She just kind of wilts on girls, or I guess in turn leans on them and hopes that they wilt towards the end of the fight and they quit.
Yeah.
Were you saying that the lines are scary because you think it's too wide or?
Too narrow. I think with Sam Hughes only being a plus 135 underdog and Dudakova only being minus 160 currently, um, the odds makers aren't thinking that this one's very far apart. And I think Dudakova is the much more, skilled fighter when it comes to these two. So maybe there's something there.
Yeah, maybe it's just which Dudakova's got a 3-inch reach too, and I feel like it's just I don't know. As the better wrestler, you're not having to worry about a reach advantage. You have the reach advantage. So as long as she's smart, I mean, she's undefeated. Is Sam Hughes going to be the one to take the O? No. Give me Dudakova by decision.
Yeah, I honestly think Sam Hughes would have to knock her out, and I don't think it's going to happen. So
I agree.
we'll see on Saturday. Next fight we got Guram Kutaladze versus Jordan Vucenic.
Yeah, interesting one here. Vucenic's UFC debut. Another guy who's never been finished. He's got 4 W's in a row, and strangest nickname I've ever seen. The Pandemic. That's a weird ass nickname, dude. Yeah, he's a great grappler, phenomenal grappler. A lot of submission wins. Okay, that's all he's looking to do, really. Kutaladze 1-2 in the UFC. Another guy with an ass load of canceled fights. He did take Mateus Gamrot long. Some people will take that in high regard. Some people won't. Gamrot's kind of here and there. He's hit and miss. His most recent. What was that?
He beat Gamrot.
Yeah, he did beat him. He did win, but like I was saying, it depends. I know some people think Gamrot's like a hot and cold guy. He's either hot ass on the night or he's good, but his most recent 2 losses are Elvis Brenner, Elvis. I keep saying Elvis Brenner, dude. Elvis Brenner, and then Ismagulov. So not bad losses, the most recent 2 losses, but he is, I believe he's 1-1 in submissions, and that is all Vucenic is going to do. I just think, I don't know, minus 250. I think these lines are a little too wide. I think it should be a little bit closer. I think it might be, even if Kutaladze wins, I think it won't be quick. It'll go the distance. Vucenic's never been finished. Give me Vucenic by sub, brother. Okay, another dog money. By sub, dog money, over 1.5. All 3 of those things I'm looking to play on this fight. Give me Vucenic by sub.
I really wish I could go with JP on this one, guys. I do. I love the Sam Patterson call last weekend. It was really fun. However, in this fight, I'm going the opposite direction. Um, Kudaladze, he's a Japanese jiu-jitsu black belt. Now, Japanese jiu-jitsu is a little bit different than Brazilian jiu-jitsu. They focus on a little bit more well-rounded game, striking, judo tosses, hip throws, things of that nature, joint manipulation, some really cool stuff like that. So I'm not saying he's a BJJ black belt. He's a Japanese black belt, jiu-jitsu black belt, but he's still a really well-rounded fighter. He doesn't have a ton of holes in his games. The Brenner fight, he kind of got gassed, and Brenner just kept fighting, and he's a dog. But he was leading for the majority of that fight as well until he lost at the very end. I don't think Vucenic has anything to offer on the feet. It's really lackluster. He does move forward, but he's a bad striker, and those two don't really combo well. I mean, you got to turn into a counter striker if you can't strike well, and lead the dance, if you will. And he'll look to get takedowns and submissions, like JP said. I just don't think he's the stronger guy in this one. Kudaladze is going to be able to keep him at range. If they clinch, Kudaladze has the advantage there, in my opinion, as well. I mean, we're looking at 5'11 versus 5'9. This is just not something that I want to put any money on Vucinic, who has not had a single fight in the UFC, coming in fighting a guy like Kudaladze, who's very, very technical on his feet. Just needs to work on that cardio a little bit. I think Kudaladze's worked and got himself in a much better place. Give me Kudaladze on Saturday.
Another one. What is that? Two already? 2 out of 4.
Yeah.
Let's make it 3 out of 5. Next fight is Shamil Gaziev versus Dontel Mays.
Yeah, Shamil Gaziev, if you go and watch the highlights on YouTube, which probably is what JP did, you'll see a lot of big uppercuts, powerful strikes, knocking guys out cold. But if you go and look who these guys are, I mean, they're just a bunch of nobodies. He's supposed to be this big, scary heavyweight coming from Dagestan. I just don't really see it when you put on the tape. I mean, he went out against Rosenstrike. JP said a couple videos ago, quit on the stool. JP was talking about he was so unimpressed, yada yada yada. However, he's not going to take any of his own advice. I think that Gaziev Gaziev's prone to the jab. Guess what Dontel Mays does well? He throws jabs really well. Gaziev's prone to the leg kicks. Guess what Mays does? He throws leg kicks. The one thing is Gaziev could potentially look to wrestle, and Mays is not very good on the ground. However, I don't think Gaziev's going to be able to submit Mays. Once Mays is on the ground, he works really hard to get back up. He's not someone that accepts positions, and Gaziev has no gas tank. The guy will gas hard. He'll breathe out of his mouth and start like sticking the mouthpiece out of his teeth, trying to get air into his mouth. Dontel Mays, he's a quick guy. He's going to come in a little bit lighter than Gaziev, but he's also very tall, 6'6", athletic guy. Gaziev's only 6'4". I think he's going to have a little bit of problem with the reach advantage because he was getting pieced up by Rosenstrike, and Rosenstrike was the much smaller man in that one. I got to take Dontel Mays, the underdog, to piece him up. We're looking at a Volkov situation versus Pavlovich. Again, I'm telling you right now, Dontel Mays avoids the wrestling, avoids the power strikes, outpoints Gaziev. Don't be surprised when Dontel Mays wins by decision on Saturday. Give me Dontel Mays.
um, no. The Volkov, I feel like is good enough. Mays is just ass. He does have a good jab. I will back that. But Mays he's ass. Both of these are fat boys ass. It's terrible. I think Gaziev's going to wrestle fuck him. I think that's all it's going to be. We're in the small cage. They're just going to be, once Mays gets tired, he's so slow. So is Gaziev, though. I mean, he did quit on the stool, but I think Rosenstrike is levels above Dontel Mays. I don't think he's good. If Mays is going to win, I think it's going to be by KO because I think he's going to clip Gaziev and then a couple grounded pound strikes. I think he hits harder than Gaziev, but we're in the small cage. Gaziev's
This
probably...
is a small cage? Can we stop there? This is in a small cage in Abu Dhabi?
I thought it was. Is it not?
I don't know if they use a small cage. I think that's only in the Apex.
Oh, it might not be actually. I might be on fraud
Well,
check right now. It might not be.
yeah, I don't think it is. Not in Abu Dhabi. They do a full stadium. full
They
octagon
would
match.
do. Yeah, that's true. They do put on better shows over there. So it might not be the small cage, and that might lead to my demise. But I can't switch up. I got to leave it. If it's an L, it's an L. I think Gaziev's going to take him long. I think Mace's only shot is to knock him out. I don't think he will. I'm taking Gaziev by decision. Do not bet on the fight. Either way, whether you're taking Mays or Gaziev, do not put money on this fight because you're going to be so pissed when they're two fat boys who are tired slobbering all over each other. Okay?
For my followers out there, sprinkle the Mays by decision.
That's funny, man.
All right, next fight we have Mohamed Yahya versus Caio Fernandez. Caio, I don't know.
Caillou. Yeah, who knows? Yeah. Interesting one. Yaya's 0-1 in the UFC. Took Josh Peak long. Okay, doesn't look bad. He's decent on the feet. I think his grappling game is suspect. I do not think he's high level on the ground. All of his losses except for one, I believe in his career he has been finished. That is scary to me. It's not a good thing to me. I think it's his most recent loss that he wasn't. And he went to decision. Yeah, against Trevor Peak. I'm an idiot. I literally just said that. But yeah, man. Fernandez, he's 0-1 in the UFC as well, but he's another guy never been finished. Do I think Yahya is going to be the one to finish him? I don't. I don't know. It's a weird one. I just don't think Yahya is good enough on the ground. I think Fernandez's way is to try and get close to him, make it a dogfight a little bit, grapple inside. But I'm gonna take Fernandez by decision in this one. Don't bet it again. Stay away from it.
Yeah, this one's tough. For me, we don't have a lot of information on either guy. Like JP said, we've got Muhammad Yahya, who's coming in with an 0-1 record in the UFC. His opponent, um, let's see, he's 0-1 in the UFC as well,
Mm,
right?
yeah.
Um, so there's not much to go off of. They kind of have similar styles. I just think that the hometown guy and Yaya is gonna have the crowd behind him. His strikes when they land, the crowd's gonna be going wild and cheering. I definitely think this one could go to decision. And anytime you've got the hometown fighter versus somebody else, it's normally gonna sway the judges a little bit. So I'm gonna have to go with the hometown guy with Mohammed Yahya.
I didn't think about that point actually. That's a good point, especially in the Saudi Arabia cards or Abu Dhabi cards. The hometown fighters for sure do get more of a pop. Some will say they get more leeway. I'm not here to comment on speculation. Okay,
It's just how it goes.
it's just how it goes. Moving up. Another one that we're probably against each other. It's gonna be Alonzo Menifield and Azamat Murzakanov. Does that sound correct?
I believe so.
Interesting, man. I mean, the 4.5 inch reach advantage he has on Azamat, so that's something to keep in mind with power. Um, I personally think you guys know how I feel about fight IQ guys. I think Menifield's an idiot. I think he's got a touch of the idiocy. You know what I mean? It does not make sense to me. You fight a very high level kickboxer in Carlos Olberg, and your plan in that fight is to sprint at him with your chin up. Makes absolutely zero sense to me. He's never been subbed. Surprisingly, the only way he's been finished is by KO or decision is how he loses. Never been subbed, so that's something to keep in mind. I think he's a gatekeeper. I think he's a decent gatekeeper. I think he possibly is a guy to fraud check people, you know. And again, Azamat's undefeated, 13-0, 3-0 in the UFC. So something to keep in mind there. Azamat has had a lot of canceled fights as well. Again, another guy, a lot of canceled fights, but who has also never been finished. And then Devin Clark, who beat Menifield. Azamat finished Devin Clark. MMA math, I know, so we'll stay away from it. Yeah, man. I don't know. I don't see Alonzo being the one to take Azamat's O away. I think he's better. I don't think Menifield's smart. That's my biggest thing. I don't think he's smart. I think his fight IQ's low. And I think Azamat will keep his undefeated streak. I'm going to take Azamat by decision. But like Brevin said, if you're going to bet this fight, the KO prop for both guys is definitely there. The power will be swinging. Other than that, Azamat's not a bad line now. But yeah, KO prop or money line, either one, because the lines aren't terrible for either. But give me Azamat by decision.
All right, enough of that. Next fight, I think maybe we'll see. Maybe JP and I are back on the same team here. We got Joel Alvarez versus Elvis Brenner or Elvis. How'd you say it? Elvis?
Elvis. I
Elvis.
did say Elvis too. That's funny. Elvis. Interesting guy. This does start the main card as well. So this will be at noon. These early cards are weird, man. Um, Brenner's 3-1 in the UFC. He beat who were we talking about earlier that he beat? I keep forgetting every
Kudaladze.
time. Yeah, Kudaladze. He beat Kudaladze. Um, he is a sub specialist. He's looking for the sub. I forget. I think it's like 7 of his wins come by sub. 11 out of his 16 wins come by sub. So, I mean, what is a guy coming to do? Who knows? We'll see if Joe Alvarez has a good game plan. But he took Mitabek Orabai long, which if that tells you anything, the grappling and the ground game is there because Orabai's that's all he's been looking for. Elvis Brenner, another guy, never been finished. I mean, how many times am I gonna say this on this fight, on this card? How many times am I gonna say a lot of canceled fights? Alvarez has a shit ton of canceled fights as well. It's just something to do with this card. One thing to keep in mind, which is why I feel like me and Brevin might not be on the same team here, is Alvarez has a 5-inch height and 5-inch reach advantage in this fight. He's also looking for subs though too. He's a big sub guy. In his career, he is 0-1 for decisions. So that's something to keep in mind. Maybe taking him long might be the key. But I believe all of his UFC fights, except his first one, have been a finish, win or lose. It does not matter if he wins or loses. It ends in a finish. Elvis Brenner, or Elves, god damn it, dude. I can't get away from saying Elvis. Elvis Brenner, never been finished. Again, this is a fight night. Not a lot of people are high level. I don't think Alvarez is the one to finish him. Give me Brenner by decision, dog money. Maybe KO prop. Just a sprinkle, but dog money line because it's dog money. Give me Brenner.
Guys, I really love JP. I really do. But he must not have been doing his research for this card because, golly, he wants to sit there and tell you guys about Brenner's subs. Are you kidding me? His opponent, Joel Alvarez, has 17 submission victories. This guy is a submission specialist. And you know what's going to happen when they're both submission specialists? They're not going to freaking grapple. We've seen it time and time and time again. I promise you that's not going to happen. And so what's going to happen? They're going to stand. They're going to swing. They're going to trade and throw punches and kicks. And who has the advantage? It's Joel Alvarez. The guy's 6'3" in a division with very, very short guys. Brenner's only 5'10". The reach advantage, 77 inches to 72 and a half inches. Guys, I don't have to tell you this over and over every single week, but Alvarez is going to have the advantage on the feet. He throws a nice jab. He mixes in leg kicks very, very well. He actually keeps his distance very well. I researched this guy. I study this guy. Brenner, he's going to come forward. He's going to look to throw big power shots. Go back and watch the fight against Kudaladze. Brenner was finished. He was dead to rights. He had blood dripping from his head. His head was gashed open. He was lucky that Kudaladze was gassed in that fight, and Brenner got the victory. I just don't think this is how this one plays out. Joel Alvarez, very, very smart fighter, guys. I mean, very high level record too. His loss. Let's talk about his loss. His last loss was Arman. Arman, the one that just beat Charles Oliveira. Are you guys blind? Listen, I don't need to talk anymore. Joel Alvarez gets it done on Saturday. Believe me on that one.
Believe me on that one. Man, this is. I think we picked out of 8 fights, what, 2 of them together?
Yeah, it's a rough one.
Yikes. We're starting the pick wars. This is the first. I'm calling it right now. Didn't even talk to Brevin. Who cares? We're starting pick wars. Comment whose side you're on. You're on my side. You're on Brevin's side. We won't give you the running total of the picks yet, but I'll just say it. We'll see. Anyways, moving up. This fight, I'm interested to hear your pick on this fight. It's Mackenzie Dern and Lupina Godinez.
Yeah, this one's interesting. Mackenzie Dern. A lot of people think that she's got a very strong wrestling base. I believe she was a judo black belt. She has good judo throws, but my goodness, she can't wrestle. She can't wrestle and she tries. Imagine trying something that you just are not good at. Go back and look at every fight. She's like 1 for 11, 2 for 12. I mean, the takedown attempts are there, but they're just not met with any success. Loopy, on the other hand, she can wrestle. She went to decision with Jonda Jandaroba, the one that freaking put a bullet to my head in the last big one that really screwed up my parlays. However,
I called
in this one, Loopy Loopy's got the better striking, the more powerful strikes. Mackenzie Dern, the striking really is unimpressive. There's not much power there. If she is winning a fight, it's on the ground when she's on top, and she gets a little bit lucky when she gets herself in those positions in the first place. Loopy has a very strong wrestling base. She throws the harder strikes. This is great dog value here. Give me Loopy Godinez to beat Mackenzie Dern.
Man, this is the 9th fight, and we just have only picked two the same. Psych, I ain't going with Mackenzie Dern. What are we smoking? All right, I'm piggybacking on Godinez. Holy cow. Dog money. The line's a trap. What did I tell you about Molly last week? It's a trap. Everybody likes the Kenzie Dern. I said that right. You heard me. I said that right. Everybody likes her. Everybody thinks she's so good. Megaton's daughter. She's a jujitsu ace. She can wrestle. Not really. Also, have you seen her on the feet? I mean,
Lost.
yeah, she kind of throws with power. It's so sloppy. It's so unbelievably sloppy. And she gets herself clipped. She'll uncork these things and leave her other hand down and her chin way up in the air and then try and come all the way back. It's terrible stand up. It looks awful. Godinez is good enough grappler to keep that side of Mackenzie just away. I mean, the taking Jandaroba long. Jandaroba just cooked Lemos. Cooked Lemos on the ground. And Godinez took her long. Give me Godinez, dude. Keep in mind, she doesn't have any KO wins or losses in her career at all. Everything's decisions and subs. So, yep, I'm piggybacking. Give me Godinez by decision, dog money, and over 1.5 fight goes distance. I promise you. All of those are hitting. Good value there.
Yeah, I mean, really, the only thing to make note of, we use Jandaroba a lot. Dern did beat Jandaroba. I would have to go back and watch that fight. I just don't think that Jandaroba was in the place that she is right now. And Mackenzie Dern has just looked sloppy. I think she relies too much on this judo background, the jujitsu. And if she does that against Loopy, Loopy's going to be in full mount, in half guard, and then in every single position that she can be on top of Mackenzie Dern landing blows. When you rely too much on the jujitsu, it's gonna bite you in the butt after 3 rounds. So I definitely think Loopy is a great play here at dog money right now. I think you got to hammer it
The
now.
stand up's so sloppy, bro. Mackenzie's stand up is so ungodly sloppy.
I think it's one of those that we got to hammer right now when you guys are seeing this video, because these odds may flip when people start to realize that this is the value of the card right here. This is the value pick.
100%.
All right, next fight we've got Tony El Kakui Ferguson versus Michael Chiesa.
Why is Tony Ferguson still in the UFC? Do people like watching him lose and get his ass beat that much? I mean, it's just. What are we going to call this? class is in session. Let's raise our hand when we see a fight like this. Both washed, both ass. What do we call it? Ding, ding, ding. That's right. The Poop Bowl. The Poop Bowl returns. Terrible fight. Tony Ferguson's got like what? 7 L's in a row? Something like that. Their finishes, their knockouts. I don't even know. Let me look right here. His most recent ones. Patty Pimblett decision. Not terrible. Didn't get choked out like Bobby. Bobby Green put him in an arm triangle. I mean, terrible. I'm not even going to go down the rest because he's not good. Tony Ferguson's not good. He's washed. Neither is Chiesa. But you cannot sit here and honestly say you're going to pick Tony Ferguson over Chiesa, how Tony Ferguson's looked. Give me Chiesa by decision. It's a boring fight. Now, I told Brevin I was going to save something for the show. I was going to tell him something earlier. I said, no, I'll save it for the show. Okay? If it's absolutely kicking you, because you don't want to pick either, don't bet on this fight. The only thing I will bet on, okay? Tony Ferguson's a weirdo. A lot of weird grappling exchanges there. Michael Chiesa has lost by Darce multiple times. Tony Ferguson has a decent Darce. The line for Tony Ferguson sub is probably juiced. I'm definitely going to sprinkle on that in case Chiesa's cheeks. Because somebody, don't you ever talk about my mom. Shut up. You're a UFC fighter. Shut up. Give me Chiesa by decision. I'm sprinkling Tony by sub. Because Chiesa might get Darced. Okay?
Yeah, let's just guys, just save your money. Tony Ferguson's a bum. This guy should have retired like 20 freaking years ago, okay? Yeah, I hate Tony Ferguson. You know who else hates Tony Ferguson? My father. All right, my dad hates Tony Ferguson. We've been watching this
My
bum
father.
for a very long time. Get those wings off your back. You ain't flying. You're nobody's angel. You ain't El Kukui. You're not scaring nobody. This guy's lost so many fights over the past couple years. His last win came in 2019. JP and I were still in college. I mean, this is just ridiculous. Yeah, the guy should have retired so long ago. This one's an easy pick for me. Michael Chiesa gets it done.
Yeah, if you're honestly picking Tony Ferguson to win the fight,
It's a
it's
donation,
just
man.
I just
Might
don't
as
I
well
don't get
support
it.
support hungry kids, man, because that's just a donation to DraftKings or whoever you bet through. Tony Ferguson's not winning. The odds are what they are right now. I'm pretty sure Chiesa's a freaking minus 600. So, goodness gracious.
Yeah, he's like minus 650 or something right now. Yeah, if you're putting money on Tony Ferguson, other than the Darce, I'm gonna sprinkle it, put like $5 on it. But anything more than that, there's a prince in Uganda that could use your money too. Okay, so enjoy that. All right. This next one, I think this next one is the sleeper of the card. Actually, this fight has me kind of excited for this card. It's Marlon Chito Vera versus Davison God of War Figueiredo.
All right. Well, I'm interested to see who JP picks on this one. If we're on the same team, if we're opposite once again. Well, guess what? Good news is we won't be watching the UFC card together this weekend. We did last weekend, but if it was, we might JP and I might have to start getting in a scrappy brawl. Cheeto Vera coming off of a loss to Sean O'Malley. You know, not a bad loss. Sugar Sean's the dude. He lives right down the road from me. Know the guy very well. Just kidding. I don't, but he's a boss. All right.
First name basis, brother.
Sugar. Davison
Sugar.
Davison Figueredo. I hate the guy. I mean, what are you, the last airbender? Get those stripes out of your damn hair. I mean, the guy's done nothing. He's fought Brandon Moreno like for the past 5 freaking years. I don't know if he just made it his life's mission to fight Brandon Moreno. Man, this guy was losing to Cody Garbrandt. I don't care what anyone says. Cody Garbrandt was the faster fighter. He was a more powerful fighter in this one. He just got subbed. All right, well, that's a path to victory against Cody. If he would have stayed standing, that was not going to work. Cody was throwing. All right, I don't think Figueiredo's got it in the tank anymore. He used to. He used to be very skilled. I think Cheeto Vera still is at the top of the division. I think he's still on the top of his game, and is still in his prime. I got Marlon Cheeto Vera, another dog, to beat Figueiredo on Saturday.
I'm just joking. Yeah, we're on the same guy. I also have Vera. I'm not taking Figgy at all. The Moreno fights were at 125, right? I'm correct on that.
Yes. So now he's up a division.
Yeah, so now he's up to 135. I mean, he's fast and he had power for that division. What's the one thing about that division? Oh yeah, all of those guys are tiny. They're friggin' little dudes. Okay, they're fast. Marlon's got a 3-inch height, 2.5-inch reach. I also think Marlon's better on the feet. Okay, and some people like Bukowskis last week had a reach advantage. He didn't use it at all, and he kind of got his ass beat there for a second. Vera's much better. He'll start slow, okay, to figure you out, to get your timing, to see what you're throwing at him, to see how you're going to react. He'll feign a bunch of shit. I think he's better on the feet. I think he's good enough to use that height and reach advantage. Figgy's also the better grappler, so that's what he's going to look to do is grapple Cheeto. I just think Cheeto's better. I think Cheeto's top tier. Granted, Sean beat his ass. I don't think people understand how fucking good Sean is on the feet. Okay, he is unreal. The precision that kid has, and Marlon has a chin. If you're trying to tell me that Figgy's gonna be the one to put him out, get out of my face. No, he's not. Marlon has a chin. He ate a knee up the middle from Sean. He met the knee. It was loud as shit. They replayed it. You could hear it as loud as shit. I don't think Figgy's beating him. Like Brevin said, dog money, phenomenal value. Everybody can keep picking Figgy. If that fucking line for Vera keeps going up, I'm hammering that line.
Hammer.
Phenomenal. I'm also going to go over 1.5. Over 1.5. Fight goes distance. Give me Cheeto by decision.
Well, that's not a bad call. JP made the point. Cheeto does start slow. Figgy also starts fairly slow. These guys have both been in very high level fights. They're gonna make reads. They're gonna get their feints in. Definitely hit that 1.5 over 1.5 there as well. All right. Next fight, Shara the Bullet Magomedov, our guy, the one-eyed wonder, going up against Michael Olekchuchek. Who we got?
One-eyed Willie, baby. Shara, my boy, never lets me down. Always fighting I don't know if he has like visa issues or what. He's always fighting in Saudi or Abu Dhabi.
No. They figured that out. He was in America for that last one that he won.
Oh, was
Yes.
he? Okay. But yeah, ain't no way I'm taking Olazachuk. Okay. I'm taking Shar. Shar's disgusting. 2-0 in the UFC. Another guy, never been finished. He was the first ever lock of the show for me. Okay. So he holds a special place in my heart. His kicks, the mobility of his hips, unreal. He fought a guy, Trocoli or Tricoli, however the fuck you say his name. That dude was like 6'5", and Char's still holding his own. Granted, it took him a little bit, but I mean, you fight somebody when you're what's Char 5'10", you fight a 6'5" guy. See how you do.
No. Char's 6'2". He's a big dude.
Oh, is he really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't think he was that big, but we don't know much about his grappling game. That's the only thing. He's got no grappling accolades, but his clinch game is good. He's got good elbows. He's got a good understanding of distance management. Olazachuk, 7-6 in the UFC. He loses by sub a shit ton. So that's why I mentioned the Shara sub thing, because if Shara had takedowns, has a submission ability, that's clearly the blueprint to beat Olazachuk. He always loses by sub. He's looking to stand though with Shara, and I just think Shara's better. I don't think Olazachuk can outpoint Shara. If he caught him, I'd be surprised. Olazachuk's best wins is Cody Brundage and Chidi and Jokawanu. Okay. Cody Brundage is awful. Atrocious. You might say Shara hasn't beat anybody. I don't care. Give me One-Eyed Willie, okay? Star Jam. Give me Shara by decision. I'm betting the KO prop too.
Yeah, I like that call. Chara coming in. He's a very good striker. Throws a lot of kicks. You guys saw the breakdown a couple weekends ago where he was fighting. The dude's a killer. His opponent, Olekchikchek, I can't even say his name right. Michael. We'll settle with Michael. He's got a he's
Michael.
got a powerful left hand. He likes to cock and throw that left hand. I believe he used to fight at light heavyweight too. So he does carry a lot of power. However, he just doesn't have a lot of wins. He doesn't have a great ground game like JPM mentioned. He's been subbed a lot. He's not really gonna shoot takedowns. He averages less than a takedown attempt a fight. He may come in and surprise people with the takedown attempts. I just don't think he's that skilled, even if he does get it on the ground, to keep Shara there. So I think this is going to stay standing. If you give me the choice of the better striker, I think it's easily Shara Magomedov. I'm rocking with him on Saturday. Shara Magomedov.
100%. What everybody came to see. Pretty good main event, I'd say, for a fight night. The last, I mean, I want to say the last 4 fights, but the Ferguson Chiesa fight is just jokes, honestly. Like, it's not even, it's just to sit there and clown on Tony Ferguson. Um, but yeah, the main event, man. Corey Sandhagen versus Umar Nurmagomedov.
Yeah, this is going to be a banger, guys. These guys are both really good strikers. Nurmagomedov, cousin of Habib. He's not his brother. He is his cousin. He does throw very powerful strikes. Obviously, he's got good wrestling background as well. Sambo. That's what he does. However, he likes to keep it standing more than others. From Dagestan. So it is going to be interesting, but he does have a lot of power in those hands. Corey Sandhagen, kind of the same thing. Very scrappy guy, rangy striker. He's going to find the home for his left hand quite a bit as well. He'll throw nice kicks. I think it's going to stay standing. I just think that Umar carries the more power. And then he has wrestling upside as well. I mean, maybe if he does start getting touched up, he changes game plans. I think I mentioned earlier a lot of these guys, if their plan A doesn't work, they don't have a plan B. I do think Umar has a plan B as well. He just hasn't had to pull it out yet. I mean, he's 17-0. He's got good power in his hands. He's a great striker, but he will wrestle you as well if he needs to. So in this one, give me Umar. I think he's more well-rounded. I think he is going to climb the ranks fast.
Good news, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Brevin have now aligned ourselves on the right track for most of this main card, if not the whole main card. No, except for the first fight on the main card. But I'm also gonna go with Nurmagomedov. Like Brevin said, he likes to keep it standing on the feet more than these other OVEV guys, Nurmagomedov guys, Habib camp guys. I mean, Habib's cousin trains in the same gym as Habib, as Islam. Okay, he's not like Mokayev. He's not like Gadziev. Okay, he's not stupid. If there's one thing Nurmagomedov likes to keep it on the feet, he is very powerful. Corey Sandhagen is quite literally a master at distance management, at knowing his range, at mixing up the strikes. Uh, he does not discriminate against body parts. Okay, he will hit you anywhere from anywhere. He angles off gorgeously. But the thing, and you guys know I'm big on this, is fucking fight IQ, dude. Habib's camp are not stupid. They know how to fight. They know how to win a fight. And Nurmagomedov has Sambo. How has Corey Sandhagen lost? By decision mainly. Aljo subbed him. Aljamain subbed him by rear naked choke. What is Nurmagomedov's most sub-heavy wins? Rear naked choke. Give me Nurmagomedov by strangle in the third round. Okay? Y'all heard it here first. Exact. It's going to hit. I'm telling you right now. By sub third round. Okay? Don't tell you I didn't tell you so when you guys come back and it hits. I'm just saying. We're going to clip this part for it too. Okay? I'm from the future. I've seen it. They're going to touch each other up. First, second round. Sandhagen's tough to deal with in the first round. The second round, he's going to lay him in a little bit. He's going to get a couple more takedowns. Third round, he's going to wilt on him. Around 2 minutes, minute 30 left in the third round. Sub him up. Rear naked choke. RNC. Nurmagomedov. Let's go.
I love that, man. Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of upside in a lot of different areas. Wherever that fight goes, Nurmagomedov can get it done. Training with Khabib, they're gonna have that guy ready come Saturday. All right, my favorite part of the episode, the Locked Door MMA Lock of the Night. JP, kick us off. Who you got?
I mean, everybody should know by now. We started off with him to start the show, and he came through, even on a late notice replacement. I'm going with him again, ladies and gentlemen. Give me One-Eyed Willie. Give me Shara, the Bullet, Nurmagomedov.
Very nice, very nice. For my pick, we're going to the main event of the evening. Give me Umar Nurmagomedov to get it done over Corey Sandhagen.
100%. You guys better jump on these locks, okay? I'm telling you, we ain't missing. 5-0, 4-1. We are not missing. We're getting to double digits, okay? It's y'all don't want to, you don't got to. But I like free money. I don't know about you, Brevin, but I love it.
I love it as well. All right, now I'm gonna kick us off with Brevin's basic parlay. Give you guys hopefully even money here. Let's see what we got. First pick of the night. I'm going with the long rangy striker in Jai Herbert. Jai Herbert's gonna get it done. Second fight. Me and my father, we both hate Tony Ferguson. Give us Michael Chiesa at minus 600 currently. And then to round us out in the main event, my lock of the night, Umar Nurmagomedov, doubling down on him. That currently is going to bring you to plus money, plus 149 currently. Those three are going to hit. Let's go.
Damn, got it to plus money even with the minus 650 favorite. That's impressive. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, it's juicer time. Get up out your seats. Juicer time. This week's a special week, okay? August 5th, Monday, my birthday. So, this card's going on August 3rd. So, why not get you guys a present? I'll pop out 2 juicers, okay? 2 different ones, if you will. All right? One of them's called the OVEV. Raise your hand. I know we all know about it, okay? It's the #1 rule here at Locked Door MMA. All right? Brevin ain't going to agree with probably 90% of these picks in these parlays. But that don't matter. We don't need him to agree. We just need him to hit. All right? To start the OVEV parlay, we're taking Gaziev over Mays. Mays is fat and slow. He's going to get wrestle fucked the whole time. Next one, we're taking Azamat. Okay? I think he's winning. He's staying undefeated. Next one after that, give me my boy Shara Bullet. Okay? He's not losing. He's the lock. Money line him anyways. The very last one, Brevin's lock. Throw Umar Nurmagomedov in there. That one's probably going to be a little bit lower odds because those are all favorites. So none of them are too heavy of a favorite, but I think Umar might be the biggest one, minus 310 or something like that. But anyways, to the other one that's much more juicy. Okay, I threw all my dogs in there. All my dog picks as a juicer parlay. Let's start off with Bedoya. Next, we're going Vucenic. Play the sub prop on Vucenic. Okay. Next one, we're going Mr. Elvis himself, Mr. Brenner. Line it up next with Godinez over Macy Dern. Macy Dern sloppy on the feet.
Mackenzie, you
Final.
don't even say your name right. It's
What'd I say?
Macy.
Did I say Macy?
Yes.
Did I really? Don't matter. She's losing anyways, okay? We can forget her name now. Give me Lupe Godinez, okay? Final one, Cheeto Vera. Everybody's high on Figgy for some reason. Cheeto's a dog. Give me Cheeto to end that. Those are going to be much higher odds. We'll put them up here on the screen for you. It's an all-dog parlay as of right now. Those are the 2 juicers, 2 parlays. So you guys got 4 parlays this week. The lock, the basic, OVEV, and juicing it up with that last one.
The dogs.
The dogs.
The dogs. Ladies and gentlemen, if you made it this far in the show, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're bringing you content every single week, and there's a UFC card. It really helps us out, as well as leave a comment underneath this video. Part of making this content for you guys is to interact, to build a community, have some back and forth on who we think is going to win versus not win, so on and so forth. So, with that, JP, take us home, man.
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, do not forget, okay? Pick wars. Whenever me and Brevin pick against each other like this, everybody pick a side, okay? And we'll see who we're riding with because when we pick against this many fights, somebody's going to be right, somebody's going to be real wrong, okay? But it's always a good time, man. We're still texting each other back and forth. Your pick was ass, that pick was ass, whatever it may be. But it's always a good time, brother. So like, comment, help us out quite a bit. We're almost to 50 subs at this point. Once we get to 50 subs, we can start possibly looking at doing a couple lives, so you guys can enjoy the fights with us, do a companion, have some fun there. But as always, ladies and gentlemen, it was a pleasure. Bingo bango, baby. Peace.